What's up, guys? We're back here at the GSL Codex. This is the final day of the round of 16. From here, we go on to the round of 8, and that's when things really start to heat up.
Indeed, it does. We just had a couple really quick 2-0s. Symbol 2-0ing Su and GuMiho 2-0ing Kangho. That was fast, man. We're already in match 3, and either Symbol or GuMiho going up. I think these two probably overall the best two players in the group. So it's nice to see them in that finals.
Game number 2 there with GuMiho, a little bit of an alternative style.
Yeah, he was really aggressive all game long.
Sacking a little bit of his economy
Much later, command center, and then the third command didn't even really come into play in that game.
Yeah, didn't really at all. Also interesting, he did a hard push. For those of you guys who don't know the difference between hard pushes and soft pushes, a soft push is what you almost always see in a TVZ, and typically see in almost all matchups. But hard pushes are when you actually start to create structures that have some permanence there during the push, like the turrets
or siege tanks.
Yeah. But actually, looks like we're going to be going on to this match, Symbol versus GuMiho here on Akalon Wastes.
Yep. All right, well, this map is the one that we saw the ridiculously long game on before, but the way these two are playing today, man, it's hard to say. Is this going to go long? Is this going to be really short? They might both just be aggressive against each other.
Absolutely could happen here. Where it's really going to be, it's going to be hard to predict. I think it should go to the late game, but we'll find out. They've been mixing up their styles quite a bit here at GOMTV.net. Ha! Psych! We have a pause. All right.
So
quick pause there.
Yeah. Just got I don't know, something is up with
Usually
GuMiho,
it's sound. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll
probably.
Be notified soon.
Yeah. That's okay. Anyways, Akalon Wastes, a map that you can get a lot of bases on really easily, but because of that, sometimes we see more aggression. That is something that we do see.
The third base is it's accessible, but it's in sort of a weird location. Occasionally, we see people expand to what you would think is the fourth base instead of the third.
Yeah,
depending on its pushability.
It really matters a lot on the matchup and whatnot as to which one you're going to take. Like, for instance, if your Protoss doesn't matter the matchup, you're going to take the one behind the rocks. Whereas with Zerg, you're going to take the one on the low ground that's not behind the rocks more often than not as your third. And for Terran, normally it's going to be behind the rocks as well. But occasionally you'll see it at the other location. If you do have some siege tanks and high ground stuff, it's very defensible as well. Yeah,
very defendable. So, Artosis, I'm so happy to be back here, man.
Yeah, it's nice to have you back.
Yeah.
It was fun casting with Wolf, but you're the only nerd for my heart.
I was watching at home. You ever have been so sick you have I don't know what you call it, like a booger bag?
Oh yeah, the bag of tissues.
Plastic bag, and you just keep blowing your nose.
And it gets filled.
And it gets filled amazingly fast.
Yeah.
And by the time you're done, you're like, well, that's the most disgusting thing I think I've ever created in my entire life.
This is what you need to start doing, Tasteless, is instead of that, what you do is you get some tongs and a lighter, and you just light all your tissues over the bag and just let ashes go in.
I start one of those, like a tire fire or something in my room and just throw the tissues in there.
Yeah, and keep you warm, too. This is perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. Nothing could go wrong.
Looks like we're back in game. So let's go ahead and get the introductions going here. In the bottom right, we have somebody eager to be a GSL champion. Can he do it this season? He is
Ajubu, Symbol.
In the upper left, we have our Terran player with great multitasking, and he's switching his style up a little bit this season. Let's see if he does it this time around. He is
FX GuMiho.
So, during the break, I think I heard this before, but Hwani texted me and told me that GuMiho is an ancient, Korean fox that can turn into a woman and then eat men.
As in the word GuMiho.
Yeah.
Maybe the person, too.
It could be the person as well. We don't know what else he could turn into. Because in my eyes, GuMiho is a beautiful Terran player.
That's similar to the, sounds like the Korean version of sort of like what a succubus is. Roughly.
Maybe, but...
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess you have to add a fox in there as well, but
Right, but the point is it turns into a harpy. Or what does a succubus turn into? A harpy? It seduces men, then turns into a harpy?
I don't know, actually, because none of that's real, so I'm not really that sure.
I believe... If that's not real, then how come unicorns are real, Artosis?
Yeah, well, unicorns are just very rare. It's
right.
hard to get a narwhal to mate with a horse.
It's not easy,
must
man.
I tell you?
You got to ease them into it, man. You think getting pandas to mate are hard? Whoa.
Oh,
Get a horse and a narwhal to do it, and that's
It's something else, man. But then you get a
tip of the hat
unicorn
to you, sir.
Yeah. But nowadays with the internet, man, internet correspondence, you fall in love with each other ahead of time. That could happen.
That could, horsesfornarwhals.com. I don't know if that's a real site. I don't want to know. It's probably being made right now.
Could be. All right, we do have a Reaper expand, it looks like, here from GuMiho. Very standard.
GuMiho's been doing essentially different builds every game here.
Yeah, a little bit.
Approaches.
That's true.
And that makes sense. He's had enough time to prepare for each of these games. Each of these Zergs, I should say, not games.
He has so many Zergs to play. He could end up playing a total, well, not now because he 2-0'd, but it could have been 9 TVZs today.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
he had to have a lot prepared. Some of it solid, some of it not. So it's good to see that he's really varying his play, not just, for instance, doing the same build over and over and over like we saw from Yoda a little bit before.
Yeah. Well, GuMiho a little bit more flexible than somebody like Yoda.
And, I mean, this is pretty reasonable so far from the Reaper. He doesn't want to lose it.
Whoa! I can't believe he slipped through there.
I always assume the first Reaper won't die to a Zerg. I just even if he goes into a little hallway, I'm just no, this is somehow he's getting out of there.
Somehow slip out of there.
Yeah, I feel like they can even move through drones if you click them on a mineral like they're an SCV or something.
All right. Now
you know what? Reapers should have that. There should be a humble upgrade where you can actually make them mine minerals, so you can make them run through stuff at mineral patches. Like a Reaper that's not above mining some minerals.
They have the ability to punt the mineral afterwards.
No, they'd have to bring it back to the command center for 5 minerals.
Excuse me. Imagine just going for Reapers mining. Get minerals so fast. Those guys are so fast.
That's true, yeah. But they cost a lot more than SCV.
Hey, it's worth it, man. Especially if you get them to mine gas, too.
Yeah.
Think about that. You got your 5 Reapers on gas because they move that fast. They mine that fast when they're in there.
Yeah. All right, so.
I'm waiting, Blizzard. You call me when you guys are ready.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys.
Has got all the ideas.
Whoa.
Whoa. He's making a 3rd Reaper. He's going for the triple command play, and he's actually going for a 3rd Reaper. This is something that I have never seen at this exact time. This is really interesting.
Well, it looks like he wants to try to bully away the 3rd base.
Yeah, and you know what? The thing is, normally you're going to see 4 to 6 Hellions and 2 Reapers, but by adding a few more Reapers, he has that production facility already. Yep. And that's going to keep up with the Hellions very well. It heals, so it's very good at tanking. I like this idea. I want to see what he does with it.
All right. Now we got the Hellions coming forward here. Now, to be fair, well, a good scan or two, he could take out those creep tumors. He could actually push away this 3rd base with all that coming together.
He might be able to, but
we don't really see the Reapers being active at all either. He might use that to defend against Lings.
It's a bit weird. Because
but then again, why would he get the 3rd Reaper then?
He's only showing 2 Hellions as well.
Oh, so you think he's pulling all his units back in base?
It looks like it.
He also had the 3 Reapers hidden pretty well there by his.
I'm confused at why he's only showing these 2 the whole time.
Well, I think it's for exactly what we said. It looks like he wants to send out a bunch of units at once. Notice he's getting 3 barracks off this. He might be going for a pretty big timing attack here.
I guess he could be. You must be right here. He does have 4 more Hellions as well as those 3 Reapers now.
Now we got 10 Roaches on the way now.
Well, that's going to do pretty well against this kind of funny Reaper Hellion composition for sure.
All right. Now, they haven't quite popped out yet. They're about 1/8 the way done. Or, 7/8 done. Most bizarre fraction I've ever used in a GSL. Now
7/8 is really weird.
7/8 is pretty weird. Now he's going to hit this bunker. It will be repaired. It just barely.
Yeah. Just barely holding that off. Now, the Roaches are coming across. GuMiho on his way home with all of these units right now. In fact, no, turning around, maybe trying to catch these.
He might try to counter here if the Roaches keep going
Wait, did
forward.
he actually see the Roaches? I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, he saw them.
Okay. So going to that high ground. The Lings are already there, though. Very smart move there, getting those in place.
All right, the Roaches are now moving up.
He's getting a Baneling Nest too, Tasteless. This is going to be a powerful attack.
Very serious business. I don't know if he can actually hold this man.
Yeah, Symbol is looking like he's going to bust right through.
Not that it matters too much, but the Hellions and the Reapers isolated from this. There's not much they can do to defend. He can't even really fill up all those bunkers.
But he's trying to go after these Banelings. Now he knows exactly what's coming for him, and he should be scared.
Really nice attack there, and he hits that bunker. tearing it down. The rest of the bunkers are about to complete.
And that bunker looks like it's going to go down in a matter of seconds. All the SCVs should be dying as well. There's another bunker, but
in a lot of trouble right now. A lot of SCVs being picked off. 40 Lings on the way, which means a lot more Banelings going to be on the way as well. And GG.
Damn, right, that was a crazy attack there by Symbol. I really liked it though. You know, we're seeing this more and more often where there's going to be quick Roach Baneling timings against Terran because Terrans are getting so greedy, and you know they don't have anything that stands up well against that unit composition, especially on a map like this with such a big ramp to wall. And GuMiho even used an engineering bay as well as a command center, knowing that that wall has some weaknesses, and Symbol, he just didn't care.
Yeah, he really.
It's very inconsiderate.
Very inconsiderate. What a douche.
Yeah.
No, seriously, that was a really nice attack there. I think a lot of that had to do with GuMiho's build absolutely not working against what Symbol was doing. Not that he could have known what Symbol was doing.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, I mean, you get a bunch of Reapers and Hellions to try to surprise them. Does it really matter if the Roaches are headed towards you?
You know, the thing is, I don't like the time. I think he was waiting for a plume of drones to be made because he had those 2 Hellions and 3 Reapers at home for a long time and only waited for a couple more that took a long time to make. So either he got supply block there and I just didn't notice it, or he was trying to time it out to move out after a plume of drones gets started so that there'd be less units to defend. A little bit unlucky with the strategy that Symbol chose there.
Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate. Well, Daybreak is a map that I actually love to play and love to cast it. It is pretty old, though. I'm enjoying our new maps a little bit more. But this is going to be a map that both these guys have had a real plethora of experience on.
Oh, no doubt about that.
All right, guys, let's get ready. As we go into game number 2 between these two, remember the winner of this best of 3 is going to be the first to get out of this group and go on to the round of 8.